10:54 here on The Big Debate. Good morning, everyone. Right, so let's carry on then talking a little bit about trolling. Tributes have been pouring in for model Zara Abid, who, and we just heard there from her friend Free Her, that Zara's social media accounts have been deactivated since there were so many trolls accusing her of living an immoral life. But is this kind of judgment towards women increasing? We've seen it happen to Bollywood celebs such as Priyanka Chopra, who was criticised for wearing a deep neckline suit. Malaika Arora too has been targeted for her choice of clothes in the past. And also, as was been saying there by Free here, there are calls to boycott Turkish actress Esra Bilgic, sparked headlines in Pakistan after her Insta post didn't depict the model's character she played in the drama Resurrection Etugral. So what's it like for models, influencers and people who face judgment on a daily basis? How has this affected your mental well-being? Is colorism labelling becoming a growing issue? Would you ever confront a troll? Let me know. Let's talk a little bit to Rumena Begum and blogger Sharan Raju. Rumena, morning. I hope you're well.
Hiya, good morning.
How prevalent is online trolling for you?
Do you know what? I do get it on a daily basis. I mean, when you're on a big platform, you're bound to get it quite a bit. A lot of people are very expressive and very vocal about you because they think because you're a public figure, you know, they're entitled to their opinion. So I do get it every day, but I try not to let it, you know, get to me as much.
What are some of the, clearly don't go into details too much, please, but what are some of the comments that you're getting? What are they actually trolling you about?
Okay, so I always get, you know, people criticizing the way I look. So they always assume that I've had some sort of plastic surgery done, some sort of skin bleaching done, that I don't like dark skin and that I've bleached myself. I've had rhinoplasty, fillers and all of that stuff. It's always really down to my appearance.
And how does that make you feel?
Do you know, you know, previously it used to get to me a little bit because it's something so false. It's not something that I've actually done. And for them to make up stories and then to spread rumors about it, it really did get to me at first. But now when I look back at it and, you know, people are still commenting these things, it's been a couple of years now since I've been on social media. I don't let it get to me as much because what they say doesn't really define me or isn't the truth.
So your solution has been to come off social media, is that right? Or what did you say? No.
Definitely do not come off social media because then that would mean they have won. You know, the whole purpose of them, you know, trolling you is so they can bring you down and so they can stop you from doing what you are doing. I would say to carry on pursuing what you're doing. If you know who you are, then that's all that matters. But I wouldn't come off social media. I have never come off social media despite having really bad trolling comments. And actually I went through a phase where everybody hated me on the internet. It was so crazy. And I never thought that day would come, but it did happen. And I'm so glad that, you know, I got over it and, you know, I managed to stay on social media, still doing my thing. So yeah, I wouldn't advise anybody to come off social media unless obviously it's really mentally affecting you and you need some time off. Then I would suggest you do. Let's
bring Sharan in here as well on this. Sharan, we were talking a little bit about colorism. Tell me an experience that you've had with trolling, how you confronted it as well.
Hi everyone. Yeah, so I actually joined TikTok. I didn't know much about TikTok, but you know, I knew it was a kind of a growing platform. I knew it was a fun platform, like not taking ourselves very seriously on there. So I decided, I have a blog called Too British to be Asian, and basically it's a platform where I share my experiences being brought up first generation British Asian. And so I decided to put a real fun TikTok on. And the question is, why people think I'm too British to be Asian? So there were some things on there, you know, some of my likes and dislikes, for example, Indian music. I don't like I don't go out to buy Indian music, so therefore I wouldn't say I'm particularly into that sort of genre. So it was all things like that, that typically maybe someone who's British Asian wouldn't actually put on there. And I did get trolled. I got lots of comments about, being white on the inside and dark on the outside. Lots of those sort of real racist comments. And actually it was from South Asian people. There was nobody on there that was being racist to me, like, that were white. They were all South Asian, and very much, I think what they'd done is actually not read the question correctly. Maybe that's all I can assume.
How did those comments make you feel?
So it's definitely because I'm not, I don't have a huge platform at the moment. I'm a very new blogger. So when that was my first experience of any sort of trolling or any sort of kind of negative comments. How did it make me feel? I think I definitely, things affect your mental health very differently and on different levels. And that was definitely a time I had to sit back and reflect and go, actually, hold on a second. And I did read all the comments, and I did want to take in what people were saying and why they were saying it as well. I think it made me feel quite vulnerable, actually. I would say it made me feel very self-conscious, not so much about how I look, like Rumena was saying, but actually like what sort of videos I'm putting out there and what sort of information I'm putting out there. And I did discuss it as well. I think what's important, that you have to have a good support system, and I did discuss it with my partner. I did discuss it with a few people who have also experienced this sort of trolling. And and there was a kind of like there was kind of acceptance around it, which I didn't like. But again, if we're going to be on this platform and be kind of bloggers and influencers, unfortunately, we do have to accept it, whether that's right or wrong. But we do have to accept that people are out there purposely trying to get a rise out of you by putting you down. But that, as Rumena said, it didn't make me want to come off social media. If anything, actually, it slightly empowered me once I'd gone over and reflected. And I think that's what's happened to Rumena. Is actually, she's, from what I understand, you've reflected, you've looked at your situation. And you just, as you say, we deal with it how we need to deal with it, but we just don't let people put us down. We're on a platform for a reason. And
I think it made me a lot stronger as well.
Yeah, 100%.
As a person.
Yeah, I agree with that.
In what way, Rumena?
So, I'm not a competitive person with anyone, but I'm very competitive with myself. I like to challenge myself. So I'm like, if I'm going to let a couple of people, bring me down, then I've lost. I'm a loser. So then I just think, you know what? No, I can't let them win. I'm going to continue doing me. And that's just the way it's going to be. I don't care who doesn't like it. So I always like to prove myself wrong, that I can do this. And when I do have that mentality, I find myself flourishing even more, being even more happier, because I have just, gone through one phase and I've come out of it's. I don't want anyone to define me. I know who I am.
Do you both, and feel free to talk to each other about it, do you think that it's getting worse as time goes on, particularly towards women?
Absolutely.
Is it getting more personal? Why do you think that is?
Do you know what it is? I think women are such easy targets, and I feel like, because I would say, women are trolling women more, and, they tend to criticize everything that they're doing, whether that's their clothes, appearance, or just everything that they're doing in general. Because I get a lot of women on my account. It's never the men. If anything, the men are usually defending me. And
that's
it's the
really
women
interesting.
Who be hating. Yeah,
that's really interesting. And I think you're right. I think women are easy targets, and I think as well, we have to remember, we're of South Asian. Our culture is South Asian, and there's still women out there that don't have the kind of opportunities that maybe we possibly do. Whether that we put that down to jealousy, maybe we put that, we could put it down for so many things. But I do think there is particularly women out there that wish for a different life, and maybe, and that's why they go onto these platforms. It's a kind of getaway that they look through it. They might come across Rumena's Instagram, and suddenly, there is a jealousy in there, and then they have to. That's what I mean. Like, this is what trolling is. They deliberately then have to comment and put people down. What would
be your one bit of advice from the pair of you to those people who are maybe getting trolled right now, finding it hard to deal with the negative comments that they get? Rumena, why don't you go first?
As easy as it is to say this, you are going to have to develop thick skin if you're planning to be a public figure online, and that happens with time. Obviously, when I first started, I wasn't so, things did get to me at the very beginning, but now I'm just like, okay, whatever. It goes through one ear, comes out the other. I've heard everything under the sun. I'm okay. I'm still going to do me. It will take time. So I will say,
And Sharan, finally, what would be your bit of advice?
I'm definitely with Rumena on that, and I think what I will say is have a good support system. Do contact other bloggers or influencers or whatever you're kind of into. Do have a really understanding partner, that have people that you can talk about, because you get thick skin by going through that experience, and actually and the way you deal with it as well. There is a time, as I say, I reflected and I got upset, and I let it get to me. I suddenly got worried. I suddenly felt vulnerable. However, once I reached out to other platforms, once I reached out to my family and my friends, and I really reflected on what I was doing, and I knew what I was doing. The reason I'm doing it is to kind of help other people. Then that's what matters. And then once you pull yourself through that with other people, there's you can take a lot more.
Rumena, thank you very much for your time. Sharan as well. Great to have you both on the programme.